there's one video you watch, this is the one. It's going to be less than 10 minutes. I put the best of the best, like I said, into this. It'll feel like 5 minutes and you'll save hours in your day. Guaranteed. Like once you start putting these concepts together and some of the actions that I have later on, you will save a lot of time and you'll learn the first thing, which is you create time. You're where time comes from. And that's a key paradigm shift, is that you're the one that creates your own time. You're responsible for your time. And it's the difference between Einstein time and Newtonian time. A lot of people are on the mindset of Newtonian time, where it's linear and goes from one place to the other. What Einstein discovered is that time and place are interchangeable and that they're relative. And that's how we need to think about time, that it's relative to the person. We've all been in the experience where we're having a great time and, you know, things go by quite quickly. And then things where we're bored or having a bad time and they take forever. So time is very relative. Time also is a source of pressure and anxiety, worry for a lot of people. And when you can release those negative connotations of time and think about it properly, you actually are much more productive, you're more high performance, and you're more graceful with your flow, with your harmony. You can get a lot more done and have a much better mindset about it. And the biggest thing is take ownership of your time. Everyone has the same 24 hours. We all know that. Take ownership of it to realize what's important, what's not, and that'll bring us to our next one, which is from another book. So there's 2 books that I'm basing this off of and a webinar. If you're interested in finding out which books those are, just do #books in the comments and I'll send you a message with the 2 books. So the top 2 books that I've read over the past 2 years, which incidentally both have a chapter on time. So very important subject for high achievers, high thinkers. So the time revolution, time management is old as the hills. Trying to be efficient and block everything in is only going to get you so far. You can only increase efficiency so far. Like we said, you only have the same 24 hours. What you need is a time revolution. You need to be effective with your time. So how to do this is based off the 80-20 principle. And I think we all know what that is by now. I refer to it in so many areas of my life. But 80% of achievements are created in 20% of your time spent. So you want to be effective over efficient. Figure out what's your top 20% of effective things that you need to do. And this is not a fundamental truth of exactness, but it's a way of thinking that we make the best. If we make the best out of the 20% of time that we have, then there's no shortage. There's an abundance of time. It's another thing a lot of people will kind of sell you on, or advertisements love to push it, is that there's a lack of time. But really there is an abundance. There is no shortage of time. There's no lack of time. Time is abundant. You create it and you use it either effectively or efficiently, but it's yours and you take ownership of it. Then we move on to a concept from one of the best webinars that I was a part of, really good one by Jason Fladlin. And it was actually a challenge. But he shared one of his webinars was on time, and it really helps open up the perspective. And actually part of this was also one of the books, but it's time is space. So getting back to Einstein time and space are interchangeable. They're both relative. And when you think about your goals, do you think about them far out? You know, most people, they want to reach that $1 million or $10 million, or they want to buy the new house or get that promotion. Does it always seem like it's in the future? Does it always seem like, it's going to be 6 months, or it's going to be a year, or it's going to take this long? Or is it right here? You know, is it hitting you in the face? Is it surrounding you? Is it behind you? Have you already accomplished that? You just need to get there. So think about the space of where time is. Can you put it on your shoulder? Can you keep it, inside you, or put it in your head, or whatever, think of time and space and try to get a really good understanding of your goals, and not always thinking that they're far out or they're in some other time, but getting a good idea of that. Also, like things like worry or negativity. Often we think about those and we're worried, we're negative. Crush them, throw them out, throw them behind you, put them behind you. Make sure they're not even in your time zone, in your galaxy, in your reality. So this is another way you could use time, is when things are, you're feeling down or something bad happens, just think about taking it and throwing it away, throwing it back in time. Is another way you can look at it. And again, these are all different ideas, different thoughts. Use what's good for you, what you can wrap your head around. But the more perspectives, the more tools in your tool chest, the better understanding and the better you can use time to your advantage. Another thing with time and space is when we feel really good and we're having a great time, usually we're very open. We're very much looking at the world. We're open to people. Space seems to be, large, and we're enjoying ourselves. When we're in agony or when we're sad, we're often compressed. We take the space around us and we're thinking about our foot that we stubbed, or we're thinking about the bad emotion or the negative thing that happened, and usually we're compressed. So it's another way to look at time and space is, often when we're having a great time and time's going by, it's flying by, we're often very open and space is very big. And when we're feeling, negative emotions or not having a good time, we're often compressed. So that's another way of looking at space and time. So that concludes the mindsets. Hope I gave you some good perspectives there that you can use to get a better idea of time and have a better flow, better realization, get rid of some of those worries, some of that time cop where everything needs to be, on time and specific. You have an abundance of time. You just need to learn how to think about it properly and use it properly. So now we'll move on to the action. So I'm going to share with you 3 different actions that you can incorporate to help you in your life and get a better, use time more effectively. So never complain about time or view it negatively. So this is a big one. I don't have enough time. That's not true. You don't want to do that. That's what you need to change your mind to. It's not that you don't have enough time. It's that you don't want to do that. There's always enough time for something important. If you have a family member that just got injured or a good friend who needs you, you'll make the time. You have the time. If you have some engagement that you don't really want to do and it's not interesting to you, it's not that you don't have the time. It's that you don't want to do it. So start not catch yourself. The first thing is to realize, when are you making a time excuse? When are you looking at time negatively? And realize that it's just a priority thing. It's not a time thing. So that's the first one, not to complain about time. Then the second one is, take your to-do list and put it directly into your calendar. So this is a technique that I've started to use, and it's just a habit of mine. So I no longer have a to-do list. I might have a list of ideas, but things to do are not in my list. They're in my calendar. So if I need to do something, let's say do a Facebook Live, and I know that I want to do it at a specific time, something important to me, I'll put it in my calendar. I chunk out a half an hour or hour or whatever. Or if I want to do something, have a specific call, or I want to work on a system in my business, I chunk out time. I put 2 hours on Tuesday or Wednesday or Sunday or whenever. So put your to-do list directly into your calendar. That's how you create time. You make time for the things that matter by putting them in your calendar on a professional level. And then the final activity is say no. So say no to activities that are ineffective and don't bring you joy. When you use your time, you give a piece of your life. So understand this. When you give time, you're giving a piece of your life. That part of your life that you have, you're giving that to whatever you're doing. And this isn't to be morbid or something like that, but to realize that your time is very important. It's very valuable. And to realize that what you're doing in your life, you're giving a part of your life to be able to do those things. So keep that in mind. And then cherish other people's time when you're with them, because they're giving a piece of their life to be with you. And that's very deep. So when you're with people, realize that they're giving a part of their life to be with you. And that's the third one. Or the third one is to say no to things that you don't want to do. That aren't, creating joy or happiness or being effective, getting you to a certain goal. Hold up. Your network is equal to your net worth. Check out the video description below to join our Facebook community of game changers. Also, get your free copy of How to Double Your Reading Speed in 7 minutes. All it takes is 7 minutes to save yourself time, learn better, and crush your goals quicker. So check out the video description below now.